It is Memorial Day here in Israel, the day that we remember the fallen soldiers that died protecting this country. Kids just 18 years old when they draft are raised and trained to a mindset where they put the higher good above their own will, their own life. War is ugly. War is unfortunately a necessary thing. And there are people who seek to destroy and who seek to dominate, who seek to flip the whole world to a new reality, one that removes freedom rather than gives it, and oftentimes justifying it with twisted versions of religious ideology. Israel does not seek to dominate the world, but it does seek to dominate the battlefield. And Israel does not apologize for protecting its citizens, its children, and its families. Now, nobody agrees on everything that happens in war, and kids are just kids, and oftentimes they spend their entire formative adult years from 18 well into their 20s, their 30s, and 40s fighting for what someone told them was right. This is an ancient war. It didn't start in 1948. It started way back after the Exodus from Egypt, when tribes and armies sought to destroy Israel simply because Israel was different. Today, we thank our brave soldiers for their service, for their sacrifice, and we all hope for a day when war will be no more and children will play in the streets worldwide under a unified knowledge of God that will unify rather than divide. It's first and foremost the subtext to all that we do, to all that we stand for, and we pray that our efforts will be successful with God's grace and divine assistance. So I think part of the spiritual contract that evil has with this world is the fact that they must tell you their plan straight to your face. The Islamic terrorist world is incriminating itself once again. The official Houthi X account posted a video of Hamas spokesperson Abu Ubaida, and in this video he says, quote, "Hamas is present in every home. Hamas is present in every place. And Hamas will come out to confront you and pursue you in every street and corner." Now, that statement doesn't really seem to leave much civilians over after the fact. Pardon my ignorance, but it sounds to me like Hamas is admitting that Hamas is literally everywhere, that they're not just a small fringe militia. They are, as they said, in every home. Israel's operation in Gaza is a nightmare, to say the least. The place is almost 70% leveled to the ground. But underground, in the tunnels, more than 70% is still fully functional and operational. This is mostly where the leftover hostages are being held. Yet, out of 2 million people in Gaza and Israel bombing the place into a parking lot, Hamas claims that Israel only managed to kill 50,000 people total. Now, if Hamas is everywhere, in every home, and on every street, and every corner, this sounds like the most successful avoidance of civilian casualties ever recorded in war history. Not to mention that Israel is feeding them, providing them aid, electricity, gas, etc. So what was supposed to be, I don't know, a brag only turned out to be an admission of just how humane Israel and the IDF truly is. The funny part is the Houthis posted the video. So the Ummah, the Islamic Brotherhood worldwide, not the brightest kids in the classroom. Gvir is calling for the death penalty for terrorists. "We will continue to build up the prison service to be powerful and firm," he says during the police Memorial Day ceremony on Mount Herzl in Jerusalem, adding that on his watch, the agency has already changed all of the conditions for imprisoned terrorists. "May it be that we achieve a death penalty law for terrorists," Gvir says. He continues, saying that he will continue to give backing to the police as national security minister. Gvir returned yesterday evening from a trip to the U.S. that was cut short in order for him to take part in the Memorial Day ceremonies. Police Chief Daniel Levy was also in attendance. After Gvir speaks, he, Levy, and other senior cops will go to place wreaths for fallen members of the internal security forces. Now, contrast that with what happens in other countries like Iran, the head of the snake. An Iranian man convicted on charges of espionage and intelligence cooperation with Israel has been executed. Not that his involvement with Israel was ever fully confirmed with due process, but a suspicion from the mullahs in Iran is basically a death sentence, as we can clearly see. Now, while Israelis mourn our fallen soldiers here on Memorial Day, the IDF carried out a strike across the border to protect the Druze community in Syria. According to a joint statement from Prime Minister Netanyahu and Defense Minister Israel Katz, Israel hit an armed group preparing to attack a Druze village near Damascus. The message to the Syrian regime, very clear. Israel expects it to protect the Druze. This wasn't just a military move, it was personal. More than a dozen Druze were killed in the past week during clashes with Syria and sparked by a fake recording of a Druze cleric allegedly cursing Muhammad. The Druze deny it, but the violence came anyway. Dozens of Druze in Israel have been blocking roads, demanding action from Israel with the subtext, "Listen, we had your backs, and now you have to have ours. Over the last 2 days, Druze fighters have been non-stop fighting Syrian rebel groups, and we pray that it ends soon. On this Memorial Day, one day before Israeli Independence Day, the stakes are high and the moral compass shines like a North Star in the sky, with God guiding Israel's hand and its future. We must fully place our trust in Him and not in man. This has been Overnight Israel. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Whatever small action you can do to support us, it really does help. I'm Simcha Brodsky for JFeed.com. We'll catch you next time.